We have the blue Isengard player Mrs. Mock versus the red Mordor player AWHW on the right side. On the classical map Forts of Isen. I wish the players best of luck. I think it's gonna be tough. I don't know about the current stage of the Isengard faction. We have not seen too many Isengard games for now. And every time I've seen them, I mean, they were able to win some games, but they were kind of struggling. And I believe the problem is the early expensive units from the Uruk pit. Again, the Uruks, they cost 400 each. Even though they buffed Isengard Uruk pit, now the pikemen, they cost 50 less, which is a very significant buff. But still, you know, Urukai, you're pretty much your primary swordmen from the Isengard faction, they cost 400. Which is okay in the mid to late game because you have a lot of money boosting abilities like Devastation, Industry and Fuel the Fires. But until this moment, it's going to be kind of tough for you to keep with the spam of any faction, including Men of the West with the cheap soldier spam, okay? You have the Uruks, but they also got a rework. So basically they have now with level 2 the Bloodthirsty ability, which means they will be able to deal passively 25% more damage, which should make them to a much stronger swordman. Lama, thanks for the first time subbing with the primers, really means a lot, thank you. I've been trying to catch a live stream of yours for so long, just had to put with YouTube. Thank you very much, man.
Just subscribed. Welcome to Beyond Standards.
And thanks for tuning in into the live stream as well, really means a lot. When people are putting in the effort, you know, coming from the YouTube streams, YouTube videos to the live stream is always nice to see that. Goku, welcome. Miguel, welcome. Klaus, welcome. Okay, boys, so that's the new ability, the Bloodthirsty. It says level 4, but I'm pretty certain it's actually level 2. Because when they are level 2, this will actually light up. So I'm assuming it's going to be level 2. But most of the tooltips are actually not up to date. Because they have not been changing that one yet. I mean, it's going to be changed and of course fixed for the final release of the version 9.0. But until this, I believe it's going to be kind of like it is now. Okay. I mean, they can use shield wall formation, which means more armor, less speed and less damage output. And orcs have the horde bonus too. I believe the orcs got nerfed. And are we trying to not abuse the Corsairs in this game? And I think Corsairs can also be a very good start against Isengard. Because, you know, they are quite fast. And the Uruks, they are also fast, but they cannot catch up to the Corsairs. So without the War Pit start from the Isengard faction, you have like no proper way of successfully dealing with the Corsairs. But I think Ave knows that they are kind of busted, and he's trying to win the game without implementing them into their gameplay, because that's the only healthy way to actually see the current standing of the Mordor faction. Because it's certain that the Corsairs are going to get nerfed. It's already confirmed from the developer team. They will nerf their HP, which makes them way more squishy against any source of damage. So they might not be that reliable in the upcoming beta version. And for that reason, I'm kind of respecting the fact that Ave is trying to win without implementing them into his gameplay. Nice positioning with the Uruks, far away from getting to level 2, and there comes the War Chanted counter push. Now, hear me out. If you don't know, the buff system, the leadership system, and also the debuff system in the game got completely changed. So, in the 8.5 version, again, I keep saying it because it's very important. That's gonna be one of the major changes of the patch 2.02 since I am doing any content for Rise of the Witch King. It's gonna be a lot of changes in the upcoming version, including a buff, debuff and leadership rework. So if you don't know, in the version 8.5, the War Chant, the Rallying Call or any other buff in the game used to give you 50% more damage and 50% more armor, while leadership only gave you 33. So there was a gap between I and War Chant, which was 17% more damage and 17% more armor. Now it got reworked, and what they did was to reduce the amount of damage and armor you get from the War Chant from 50 down to 33, and they only reduced the damage and armor from the Eye of Sauron from 33 down to 25. So now the gap is not 17% anymore, it's only 8%, which actually gives you much more reason as Mordor at the beginning of the game to pick up the Eye of Sauron instead of the War Chant. I mean, he's trying to win without the Corsairs, which kind of makes sense because it's going to be changed anyway for the upcoming beta version. And without the Corsairs, we get the chance now to see the actual potential of the Mordor faction and actual standing in the beta against Isengard. And he's spamming units all the time. I mean, orcs, 3 orc pits, that's like the OG Mordor playstyle, you know, like the goblin playstyle, build 3-4 goblin caves and spam non-stop. And there comes the first transition into the Haradrim Lancers. One trample to rule them all. Orcs in Mordor? What? Okay, so he was able to defend this against orc spam, and at some point of the game he needs to make a transition into the Easterlings too, to counter the Warg Riders. They also got a change, by the way. I mean, again, the tooltip is not up to date. The whole ability got a rework, so it's now a spell, which is a good and bad thing at the same time, because it only gives you now 25% more damage, but because it's a spell, it's able to stack with leadership and buffs. So it's actually way weaker at the beginning of the game, but it's gonna be stronger in the mid to late game. The builder is gonna be taken down. I mean, in the 8.5 it was kind of common that when you start with the Warg packs or Warg pit generally, then you would skip the Warchan and go for a Creebane, because your whole ability was giving you the same stats, and remember the buffs are still not able to stack with each other. So then you was able to get a 50% damage and armor boost just from your whole ability, and in addition to that you was able to debuff your enemy units, getting a clear advantage in those early skirmishes. And that's gonna be weakened now in terms of all-out potential. I mean, again, you have like 25% more damage, and that also stacks with the Warchant, but again, Warchant got nerfed, Hole got nerfed, which kind of affects the early game of the Isengard faction with the Warg pit strategy quite a lot, you know? But in the mid to late game, it will be definitely stronger. There comes a big push from Isengard. He's gonna use the black orcs from the inn at the bottom left side. He's using orcs in trying to beat Mordor with his own weapons. So Shanks, when we gonna play Fortnite again? I don't know, man, not anytime soon, I guess, you know? Because we have actually in the pipeline a big tournament in the planning, and when the tournament starts, I believe I will have no time for anything else but streaming and organizing tournament games. Isengard is demolishing actually. The builder is gonna get away, just barely. And the black orcs, they are very strong, you know? With level 2, the bloodthirsty will make them deal 25% more damage. The normal orcs, they don't stand a chance, and if you don't know, you get a huge advantage if you pick and capture the inn. Because when Mordor wants to recruit those black orcs, not only he needs to invest 200 for the upgrade for the orc pit level 2, but also 300 each for each black orc. While Isengard at the bottom left side from the inn has to... Okay, never mind, they also changed that. My bad. Because I'm pretty certain that used to only cost 250 in the 8.5. But again, I have not taken the time to read all the changes from the changelog yet, and that's also changed in the beta. So they cost the same now. But it's still, you know, a great, more cost-efficient alternative to the Uruks. They cost 100 less, which is very significant in the beginning of the game. Okay. I mean, the slaughterhouse is gonna be protected for now. That's a decent Mordor force, but there are too many Isengard units. And remember, the Isengard is better and stronger in terms of quality units. And once the Easterlings are dead, Sharku can mess them up. Remember, Sharku has splash damage, so if he's going inside the genes... Oh, but be careful with the Easterlings! Okay, should be fine, I guess. Oh my goodness, I was really close actually. The mounted heroes against pikemen, that's, you know, gonna be fiesta in a bad way. Unfortunately, Sharku is also the only mounted hero in the game that is not able to get dismounted, so he's kinda attached, fully attached, you know, to his Warg. He's gonna be used for harassment. It will take him definitely some time. Look at this, you know, it will take him like 2 minutes or something to destroy one level 2 slaughterhouse by himself. Lures on the field, so we have hero action. If you take a look into the minimap right now and also into the command points, we can see a huge gap between Mordor and Isengard. 675 command points available for Smoky in the Isengard faction. He's up to 8 power points after Creebane, Warchant and Devastation. And his opponent, Ave, is up to 6 power points after Tainted Land, Warchant and Eye of Sauron. Oh, be careful.
Back off! This way!
Why there is no pike hero? That's actually a very legit question. Let's add Gospoy, the pikeman, to the Mordor faction. And his special ability level 1, as he's a ghost, he will be permanently invisible. There comes a Wildman of Dunland summon from the Isengard player. And beautiful trample, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, he will be able to mess them up. Remember, that's, you know, the situation you see right now. The Kribin got nerfed. You know, it got reworked. I don't want to say a nerf because it's changed in multiple different ways. That, you know, saying it's only a nerf, it's gonna be a mistake. But it's got reworked. However, the rework is gonna benefit actually in those situations the Mordor more than Isengard, because it doesn't nullify leadership bonuses anymore. It only debuffs you 25%, so all it does is negating, like it neutralizes your Eye of Sauron, but it doesn't shut it down before the debuff effect, if this makes sense for you guys. But in addition to that, what is a good change is that Cave Bats and Kribani cannot be killed anymore, but Ave can be killed, and that's gonna be the first game. Okay, we have the red Elven player Ave versus the blue Elven player Smoky. I mean, I know that's your favorite matchup, boys. I know you like this matchup a lot, you know.
The last march of the Ents begins.
The last march of the Ents begins. I know I would win, so I didn't go Corsairs. Look, I mean, that's the answer to your question, guys, why he was not recruiting Corsairs. I trust Christopher Lee. I mean, he has such a strong and powerful voice, am I right? Like, he sounds like a guy I would do everything for him, you know? He's like, Shanks, jump out of the window. Okay, Christopher Lee, no problem, I got you. We have Pikeman opening. And we have Barracks a little bit too late for Avi. He's gonna build 4 Malone trees first before the first production building. You hyped for BFME 1 tournament? Dude, I'm always hyped for every tournament I'm hosting. Yuan-san, welcome. Okay, so we have Pikeman opening. And guys, if you missed, we made signups open in Discord for the upcoming World Championship, which is gonna be this year hosted simultaneously for 2 games. So it's gonna be BFME 1 on the patch 2.2 obviously, and also Rise of the Witch King on the 2.02 version 9, which hopefully will be released by the time we're gonna start with the tournament. And we are aiming to get as many people in the tournament as we potentially can. So we are aiming to get 32 people in Battle for Middle-earth 1. We have round about 17 now. We are still missing like 15, and we are hoping to get even 64 in Rise of the Witch King. So in any skill level, it's about being active member of the community. It's about having fun. It's about having a long and great tournament. So if you have a little bit time, you can afford to invest into Rise of the Witch King in BFME 1. I would recommend and also hope that you guys will sign up for it. Steeble into Lancers, and we have also Pikemen, but it looks like Abe will be creeping this one first, and Smoky is going to be the first one who's going to use actually the Pikemen for harassment.
I will represent the men of Gondor.
Boy Scout, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. And why no tournament for BFME 2? Last year we did it also for BFME 2. We had like 2 tournaments for Rise of the Witch King and BFME 1, BFME 2. And this time I wanted to also do something for BFME 1, but I can't do tournaments for all 3 games at the same time. You know, there is only 24 hours time in the day, from which I need to sleep 8 hours and go to work 8-9 hours. So I have only a limited amount of time, from which I also need to spend time with my family. So I can't cover 3 games in the evening. That's not possible. We are switching it up a little bit, you know. The WCS started with the Rise of the Witch King. So Rise of the Witch King is always going to be in, you know what I mean? Because the first World Championship we had in 2019 was with the Rise of the Witch King. So it's like tradition to have it with Rise of the Witch King. And then we're gonna switch it from year to year. One year we're gonna make Rise of the Witch King in BFME 1. Next year we're gonna make Rise of the Witch King in BFME 2 and so on. Pikeman creeping from Avi, that's good. And also at the same time the blue Elven players creeping. Smoky, no Steeble. Oh, never mind, I lied. He has a Steeble behind. Lancer versus Lancer. Who's going to win?
This way, Lancers.
This way, Lancers. Uh-oh. 2 against 1. Smoky is one of those guys who's gonna get into a battle, and when he's getting beaten up, he's gonna call his friends. That's how the 2v1 situation feels like. Okay, he's gonna creep and capture also the inn, which gives you the chance to recruit the powerful peasants.
Take back these lands.
Why no one told me about this gig? Of course you can participate, no problem. We can make even a double or nothing kind of style. I'm actually open for any suggestions, guys. You know, I was looking and thinking about alternative tour tournaments, like a competition which encourages the people to participate because they have something to win, but also requires less time of organization and commitment. Again, time is right now tight a little bit, so having to set up a tournament with like 32 people and getting those people to play their games and kind of organizing, scheduling each game on each evening is kind of frustrating, especially when we are already planning a big tournament. I don't want to have a filler tournament before the WCS starts, so, and I want to stream a bit more frequently, and I also want to encourage people to actually, you know, sign up and participate, and for that reason we're going to bring up this format. It's going to be like a pilot project. We don't even know what else going to be implemented in the following days, but in a dream world we want to have like 2 equal strong players fighting, not every day, because I'm going to be broke if I pay out $10 each day. That's going to be like 70 in a week and 280 in a month, dude. I'm going to be broke, but I'm going to make it at least like once or twice a week, you know, that's the plan. Lancer Battalion. By the way, can we officially rename Carnage for Lords as Gear Second? Gear Secondo. Gumu Gumu. We can also name it Gumu Gumu No Pistol. Okay, the Malon tree is gonna be taken down. There is a pressure. I mean, I would rather name it like something like Three Sword Style, Monster Strike, something like this. Fits more to Lords because he's a sword fighter. I mean, the peasants and pikemen combination. You have 400 command points available for Ave and also 400 command points available for Smoky, so it's dead even. But again, this matchup will lead later on into the moment of Seed and Wars, okay? And we have actually a lot of new funny sound effects for ends. I mean, one of them is called, I believe, what can men do against, like, treasury, something about treasury. I mean, guys, you can't even imagine, you know, yesterday I was spending legit 3 hours in the middle of the night. I could, like, there was one of these days I was drinking coffee at like 9 PM in the evening. I couldn't sleep. So I came to my PC, I started to think, but like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I was like, okay, you know what? Let's implement some new sound effects for the stream. And then I was kind of researching, searching, trying to cut them a little bit. You know, make the volume in a good way, and literally investing 3 hours to add like 15 new sound effects, dude. Unbelievable. Okay. Oh, be careful. I mean, he's gonna be able to destroy that. Great positioning from Avi, a little bit bad positioning from Smoky. But again, this is gonna be the most important one. This and this, they are both level 2. And the same also for Avi. This one is level 2, and actually he lost the second level 2. The builder might be in trouble. He's gonna get in safety. Oh, but he lost the money to the peasants. That's minus 300, dude. That's like really, really bad actually. When this happens to you, when your building gets sniped, I think you lose the money. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure actually that you lose money when it's gonna be sniped, when it's at 0%, you know? Hey, SDK captains, okay. One trample to rule them all. The pleb peasants, they don't stand a chance. And we have Haldir. It looks like Smoky is going to be the first one who's going to invest the money into the hero Haldir. Which is good because later on, this hero will get level 5. And then you have like the double buff permanently, which is very hard to deal with in those all-out fights. So I always say the investment into a hero early game is going to pay out later on. I genuinely think that people, they don't find the transition early game, and I don't know why not. I don't know why they would stack, you know, spamming tier 1 units non-stop for the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game if they could just sacrifice like 30 seconds and upgrade the building to level 2 and then they get the chance to recruit actually stronger units. In this case we are talking about Lindens, for example, or about the Mirkwoods, you know, or any hero like Haldir can be also a possible choice. At this point, both players are playing with cavalry, so even Glorfindel can be a great counter to the situation, which gives you like a little bit of time to stop defending, because Glorfindel can do that alone. You don't need to be with all your units behind at your own side just to be able to defend against enemy lancers. Big push, rallying call, he's gonna be able to get away, I believe. That's gonna be close. Run this way. Okay, nice. Counter push, rallying call has been used, level 1 is gonna be taken down. And Haldir is one of those heroes who's gonna level up extremely fast, right? He's gonna be level 3 now, and he now needs only 2 levels for leadership. There comes the mist. This mist is actually from Ave, because the mist from Smoke is on cooldown. So on the mist, you lose armor and damage, but Rallying Call is still stronger than the debuff. One. Nice. Okay, I mean, he's able to defend this. The pikemen and archers, no problemo. He's retreating, and Haldir might be in trouble. Maybe you want to chase him down. It looks like you want to commit to him with 2 lancers, and he needs some backup. There comes the lancer. Oh, I think he knows. He knows. Okay, he doesn't want to commit now. Hey Joe, what's up? Is Ave still playing this game? Yeah, of course. This Malon tree is going to be taken down slowly but surely. Yep. And we have 675 command points available for Ave and 450 command points available for Smokey. So Ave was able to spam a little bit more resource buildings all over the map. You can see that. And I believe spamming resource buildings is also kind of more rewarding in this current beta. Stable level 1, 2 barracks, buff level 1, no mid woods anytime soon. Also not for this player. There's also 2 barracks level 1. So they have like pretty much the same situation. Besides, Smokey has Haldir and Ave doesn't. And Haldir is already almost level 5. I mean, half a level needed, which should be no problem for the Alvin hero to achieve. Ave will be able to win this fight on this hill. And we will see what happens next. I mean, this one is going to be taken down, but the builder, I believe, is going to be in a safe spot. The wall-up is just too tanky, you know, you can't destroy that early. You will need like forever to destroy that. Okay. I mean, he stopped actually recruiting peasants. But you can see, right, in this matchup, you don't really need to pay attention to around your own fortress, because the amount of damage from the Alban units against your fortress is kind of limited. So we will either need to wait to the point. I mean, the thing is, both of them can't even go for the ends, because both of them picked the Alvin Wood, the mist, which will lead them to the eagles. Eagles gonna be, of course, nice to clean up those. Oh, actually, eagles gonna be amazing. Look, the power points is gonna be able to fish with them now. But there comes the counter eagles. The eagles are coming. However, the eagles, they are not dealing any damage to the other eagle. Look, 2 hits from these 2 eagles. Look how much damage this eagle took. You see that? It's a waste of time. And he even healed him, or what happened? Did you guys see that? Got the eagle just healed around the well? Got damaged and he's back to full HP. What just happened? What just happened? I'm very confused. I mean, very smart move from Ave to actually hurt the eco. And it's not a horrible situation for Ave anyway, because he's gonna lose some lancers, yes, but he keeps also one of the enemy eagles busy. There comes the counter commitment, and also one of the eagles from Smokey is gonna be used for harassment. He will be able to destroy multiple Malone trees, but losing this level 3 Malone tree is going to be, oh, not even close, baby. That's 100 command points, by the way, for Smokey, and he will be dropping down to 400 command points only. I mean, Ave can, realistically speaking, what look he's getting with this army, but he couldn't finish it. I mean, Ave can finish this, right? There is no rebuild ability available for elves, so that's a very valuable resource building. You need to try to destroy it. It's kind of like a very equal situation. We have 7 power points for Ave, and also like 5 power points. But again, Smokey was going for the heal, unlike Ave. So, you know, in terms of collection of power points, it's kind of even. Smokey has a small advantage. We have 600 command points available for Ave and 550 command points available for Smok. So it's pretty even in the command points department too. But again, losing this level 3, which is all about to be destroyed, is going to be, of course, really painful. But that's a push now, and you see that's the advantage of the leadership now, boys. This army is going to deal 25% more damage and armor and level up 50% faster too. Each level means also more DPS. And I'm being honest, I don't think you have any reason to pick now buff over leadership, because leadership gives you 8% less damage and armor, but it gives you additionally 50% combat experience, which War Chant and Rallying Call or any other buff doesn't. Mist is going to be used from Ave. That's going to be enough to force the blue Elven player Smog to retreat. I mean, he can just step aside and keep fighting outside of the Mist. Should be in a good spot. We see a gameplay of 2 Elven players in the same game, kind of spamming units and not going for the quality option. Like, we have not seen any Mirkwood all game long. And that's not gonna... Oh, but he's gonna go for the Armory. So Elven Armor purchased, which is good. And he will be able to defend this and push now back. Again, very important, very, very important. Malon 3, level 3. Okay. Shanks, do you shout out on the stream about using the Prime subscription? YouTubers won't see the chat. It's why I came here, as I've never used Twitch before. I mean, I would, but I don't know, man. I don't feel comfortable doing that. You know what I mean? I don't feel like comfortable. I'm already feeling uncomfortable when I have to say in my YouTube videos, hey guys, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But I just do that because it doesn't cost anything for the people. But I don't know, man. If I say additional to that, hey guys, you know, you can use Amazon Prime, connect it to your Twitch account, subscribe for free on my channel. I don't know, man. It feels kind of odd, you know? I know other people do that, but I don't know. I don't feel confident. Pauline, welcome. Glad to see you around. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Okay. So we have Haldir level almost 6. Thanks for the follow. Thank you, Pauline. Almost level 7, I mean. And he's gonna get very soon the golden arrow unlocked. Again, no fear resistant for the Elven faction until you pick the Elven Wood, which I believe is not gonna happen because it's gonna slow your 25 down later on.
You have my sword.
Nosy, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Okay, the big push is incoming. Let's see. I mean, with the rallying call, they have double buff. And Smoky has the misadvantage over his opponent. So he has double buff and also debuff on the enemy units, which makes this army even stronger. But it's a very questionable move, sending 1 pikeman, 1 peasant, and 1 Lothian warrior with all of that stuff that he's sending forward. Maybe he's just trying to finish off this level 3 Malon 3, but I believe the army you need to send forward should be a little bit greater in terms of size and quality. And Haldir doesn't even utilize his leadership. He's actually keeping the distance and shooting, so they have only the buff. But he was able to kill the builder. And if he can take down this Malon 3 level 3, I will take everything what I just said back. But the peasants, but the pikes are gone, and now the lancers can clean up. So a little bit of a commitment which went the wrong way, and Ave's lancers have forged blades and elven armor. They will be of course way stronger, and he will be able to dominate this fight. Hello Nausy, welcome. Hello back from Germany, my friend.
Put an end to this evil.
Hi Shanks, good to catch your stream again. Thank you, man. By a spoof, thanks for tuning in, appreciate it. Glad to see you around. Thanks. I mean, yeah, I will hopefully be able to stream more frequently. I like this format, and very soon with the World Championship, we should never run out of streams. That's gonna take like around about at least 6 weeks or 8 weeks actually to finish the World Championship. And I believe it's gonna be full of streams in November and December until the end of the year. The Manon trade's been taken down. Level almost 8. That's gonna be a huge power spike, by the way, guys, because then you can stop those lances from moving away for several seconds, which gives you enough time to kill them with your pikemen. 17 power points. Ave has 15. So 25 is going to lead us into the flood moment, and again the flood will be able to damage the fortress quite a bit, and then with the upgraded lancers, Ave will get the chance to finish the fortress too. So it's going to be hard. The upgrades, they actually come in handy, and with that being said, he will always be able to win the 1v1, 2v1 situation against those enemy lancers. Look at this defense too. Doesn't even bother going for the Silvertone arrows, trying to use the cavalry. Again, in this game, Ave is on host and Smoky is off host, but he is using the delay fix version of the game. And trust me, once the version 9 is dropped with the delay fix, you will see the abusement of the cavalry. So every unit which is fast, you will be basically on host every single time you play, and your micro is going to be way faster. The reaction time is going to be way faster, and you can play around with your cavalry in a much better way than you are used to. Me like armor. Okay, 18 power points, and Smoky is dropping down to 300 command points only. Like 250 now. That's the last remaining Malon 3 from Smoky. It's also going to be destroyed. And Avi is up to 525 command points. 20 power points for Avi. There comes the rallying call, missed from Avi too. And one trample to rule them all. Mainly pikemen, mainly archers I mean, and they will be all slain. Cloud break or the golden arrow stun. No, it's actually cloud break. Now you can stun once again with the golden arrow. But what is the follow-up? You have like no follow-up to actually kill them. But again, you can kind of keep the enemy kind of in a check situation with double stun. The second, look, you see? Look, you see? Like that's like literally a stun of 30 seconds, dude. I mean, how crazy is that? How crazy is actually that? Imagine this imagine this situation when Smokey would have a little bit more units on the field. There is no fight you would ever lose. Like, fear resistance is crucial in this situation. I mean, Avi could, if you wanted to, just go for the Elven Wood, but again, you are playing against Elves, so you can cover this. Elven Wood is the only way the Elven faction can get fear resistant. There comes the Eagle, and he was able to defend himself with one Archer, one Lancer, and Haldir against such a big force. It's unbelievable. The double stun strategy. He's gonna go for the Giant Eagle from the Fortress too. And that's kind of crazy, dude. Hey, Finger, welcome. Was Geld in? Okay. Flood is available for Avi. And of course, because of the Cloud Break, Smokey is far away from that point. Now, Flood is one of those power points. You don't want to, you know, use it and then just hope for the best. You want to have, in a dream world, you want to have like a follow-up. You want to use the Flood, deal economical damage, hurt the fortress, and then you want to commit to the fortress to destroy it. Okay. I mean, the Eagle is going to do a phenomenal job because what it will do at bare minimum is it's going to shut down the cavalry from the Elven player Avi. Remember, I mean, pretty much the only reason why Avi has such a big lead is because he had like Eagles flying around the map. He had like Lancers running around the map and destroying the eco over and over again. There comes the 3 Eagle commitment. But look, we have 5 Eagles on your screen, son. How many times do you see this? Oh, that's a wrong commitment. I don't think you can take it down with 5 Eagles that fast. He has also armor, I believe, on the fortress. It's a desperate commitment. High risk, high reward. I don't think it's gonna go down. Look, we see so many Eagles, so many birds on our screen. I don't think it's going down. Maybe it's gonna go down. I don't know. The Eagle, one of them is gonna be taken down. Where is our Eagle? Can he finish this? Yes, he's finishing it. I cannot believe that. It's unbelievable, and Avi will be defeated. There is no way, dude. How? Alright, so that's the new map, Rudaur. Again, I have not seen this map before, so let's take a look into that together, shall we? Walkie-talkie with the sub for 24 months. 2 years, my friend. 2 years. 2 Jahre.
Vulkit just resubscribed for 24 months.
That's a long time.
Ahoy.
Thank you, man. That's one of my longer relationships for sure. Thank you, Walkie-talkie. Really means a lot. Oh, he was getting body blocked, I think, with the builder. Okay, so at the bottom side we have a troll layer, and the same also around the top side. Of course, it's a symmetrical map. We have a walk layer around this hill, blocking this pathway a little bit, kinda. In the same situation also here. And we have like design. It looks like we have like no neutral structure. You can't even garrison this tower. I cannot click on it. So it's like a for moderation, for like, it's like, you know, decoration. That's what I wanted to say. And never mind, I lied. You have a signal fire here, which you can capture. And the same also here. So that's only the things what you can do in a map like this. You have no inns, for example. And you have also less available creeps. So you have only 2 walk layers and 2 troll layers. So less creeping, more action. So Elves against Mordor. Mordor actually kind of abusing now the strong Corsairs. And I'm pretty certain that they will be double effective against the Malon trees. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Malon tree is taking way more damage from the fire. And if I'm also not mistaken, the Corsair firebomb damage, firebomb, not water bomb, not fart bomb, it's actually firebomb. It will of course deal more damage, if I'm not mistaken, but we shall see. However, Lorien warriors are quite fast, and now the question is, are they fast enough to catch up to those Corsairs of Umbar? That's what I want to know. I don't think they will be fast enough. I'm also not sure which one is going to win the 1v1 situation. Rallying call is going to be used. Mordor is... Oh, smart. Just disengage. Disengage. Waiting for the reinforcement to turn the 1v1 situation into a 2v1 situation. The guy was too drunk, was getting kicked out of the bar. And let's see. Firebombs. You see the firebomb initial burst. That's the problem. Like, the one damage you can't really dodge. Look at this. They are buffed, by the way. You know, they are like war chanted or rallying cold. And he's saying, heh. Oh, look, but he got clumped in this region and he was able to destroy that anyway. It's not a bad start for Elves because he was kind of forcing the mortar player to defend. And now the counter push is gonna happen. No cavalry, and these units are buffed. The firebomb is on cooldown. I believe the cooldown is, like 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. And they will be able to shoot them once again. It's gonna be a 2v1 situation. 2 Lorien warriors. And they have also pillage, right? Which means you need to kind of be smart. Do you need to demolish the building, or you wanna just let it go down slowly? But when you let it go down slowly, you will additionally lose resources and make your opponent grow rich. And the damage output against buildings is kind of nutty too, and they can always disengage. Look, the movements differential between Lorien warriors, which are one of the fastest swordmen in the game, but they cannot catch up to them. Maybe archers can do stuff. Also not very much.
I will represent the men of Gondor.
I mean, they deal somewhat of a damage. That comes to firebomb, chunking even this building quite a bit. Will delay the build of this steeple. And now they can shoot once again with the fire bombs on this one. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, not everyone was remaining on the field. This is also not a full battalion. I mean, the more units you have in a battalion, the more fire damage is going to be, of course, effective. I'm very excited for Shanks versus Dunedain BFME 1 World Cups. Me too, my friend. I mean, Dunedain is kind of crazy player. He will smash me eventually. I need to train a little bit, you know, to become like a good competition. And I haven't also played like a competitive 1v1 now for ages. I mean, the last tournament I was playing was like, what? Like 8 months ago? Look this damage, man. Holy moly. He won't get any lens out of the steeple, dude. Oh boy, that's like cheating now. It's like cheating now, man. And the thing is, when you have 2 taverns, they cost less than 300 too, right? They are like really cheap units. 300. Remember, the Lorien warriors also cost 300. So they cost the same. But imagine the use factor of these units. Like, compare them just like for a second with the enemy Lorien warriors, you know? How much more versatile they are. And how much more useful they are in almost every single situation. With no real proper counter. The barracks is gonna be taken down. I mean, that's like a new faction. We cannot call this faction with this playstyle anymore Mordor, which is famous for the spam of orcs and for strong creatures like trolls and, you know, Mumukils and the Black Riders. But Corsairs are bringing it to a whole different level. I still withhold ground, you think? This is BFME 2 model gameplay also, really? I didn't see BFME 2 gameplay for a long time now. Kind of, they need lame rules like BFME 2 1.06, no fire Corsairs. Should create a new faction. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Alright, he will be able to defend, but elves are, you know, realistically speaking, they are falling apart. He lost every single production building. He has no way of producing any more units anytime soon. And these units are getting killed in the meantime by the Corsairs. Just spam them. 3 Corsair, you get more reduction. Like, you get 20% reduction now. Now you can recruit the Corsairs for 280 each. Which is very cost efficient when you think about that. Like, it's a very common thing that you build multiple production buildings. I mean, we see factions building 2 barracks. I don't know, like multiple different factions. And there is no reason of not building 2-3 taverns. Because they are now cheaper than Black Orcs, which you can recruit from the Orc Pit. They are cheaper than most Swordmen.
Frodo!
Yeah, Frodo! Like, that's literally a worm damage, the firebomb. Literally, it just like chunks the production buildings too, beside the resource buildings. And because in this one we might get a chance to see trolls, I don't know, like Gorkil the Goblin King, maybe Shelob could be nice hero too, you know, half troll action. Let's see. We have the red goblin player Avi versus the blue goblin player Smoky. This is the map Losterneck. It looks like that. It's like a bright day style of a map. I think it's made from the BFME 2 boys. If I'm not mistaken, Power Quarterful is the creator of this map. I'm not certain though, maybe it was Ectelion, but I'm certain that it was
Now
me
is
from
the
BFME
time
2.
to show our quality.
It's the time to show our quality. Alright, so what is the plan? We have troll layer on each side. They're like in the corner, kind of blocking this pathway, but not really, you can still dodge. And we have like a city, you can also pass through the buildings, by the way. I've seen this map before, it's not a new map, we have seen this map in the very previous tournaments, like a year ago or something. But then I had to reinstall my game, and I lost all the custom maps. And that's why I would love when BFME 2 Rise of the Witch King 2.02 team decides to add those maps into the official version of the 9.0, so people don't have to manually download and put files in the maps folder, do that really manually. I think it can be automated by implementing simply, which shouldn't be a hard task, all of them into the upcoming version. Anyways, we have a goblin layer in the behind, which can be easily taken by any of the player. 2 goblin caves and 2 goblin caves. And there is also a specific goblin sound effect in the stream, which was spoken by the Gorkil, the Goblin King himself. He was yesterday at my place, and I was like, dude, Gorkil, we need to kind of record some new sound effects. And he was like, Shanks, I got you. He was speaking into the microphone so we could record some juicy sound effects. From, I think it was Azog who was here. If one Balrog can destroy Khazad-dûm, how did Glorfindel kill one? Glorfindel is like a beast, you know? I mean, Glorfindel is like not a dwarf. You know what I mean? And also, how can, when you think about this way, then you need to also ask yourself, how can Smaug destroy a full town of dwarves and force them all to retreat? Then a guy, a human, a man of steel with a bow can kill that. Doesn't also make any sense, you know? Tunnel coming up, 3 goblin caves and 3 goblin caves. So it's gonna be a goblin fiesta at the beginning of the game. Remember, you need to also kind of make sure to utilize their passive, the horde bonus, which means when they gather in numbers of 100 or more, they will be passively dealing 25% more damage. And most importantly, that's a spell that always stacks. Rache. Dankeschön. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Because dwarves don't use arrows, just throwing axes. I'm pretty certain that when you throw eggs from close range, it should hurt more than an arrow. I can watch your stream. I can watch them playing for hours. It's so fun. Try playing myself. Got bored after 10 minutes. I mean, oh, he killed the builder. Yeah, for me personally, I also enjoy commentating, casting, and actually organizing events more than playing myself. Especially when you get to watch like good players, you know what I mean? When they know what they are doing, and the games are kind of intense, it can go either way. Look, you can feel that Smokey and Abe are very close in terms of skill level, and that they both get the chance to win and lose against each other, and those games are the most entertaining. I genuinely cannot stand games in which one player is kind of eating the other player alive, you know what I mean? It's not like, imagine you watch like 10 games and it's like 10-0, but each game lasts only for like 5 minutes. It's like domination is not very fun. That's why I'm looking to get games between people who are able to win against each other and also lose against each other. He will be able to defend this tunnel. I mean, it's looking good for, by the way, for Abe. He was just able to kill a builder from Smokey. If you don't know, Abe was playing actively, and he was like a goblin main player back in the day. And if I remember correctly, goblins are also his favorite faction. Goblins have shields now. It's only visually because I'm using the HD edition, barely. When you are using the normal edition, you don't see the shields. And also same to the orc warriors. Goblin warriors, he will be able to find this tunnel. Break it. I mean, they're such a cool unit too, but most of the time they feel kind of, I don't know. Maybe in the current meta they will be a bit stronger, because what they did was to reduce the armor and I believe the tankiness of resource building. So now basically the goblin warriors, 2 of them, should be able to kill the tunnels or any other resource building in the game a bit faster. And that's also required for them, because they are squishy units. They will get killed from any other source within a second. So in that case, we are talking about quantity advantage. You need to big time outnumber your opponent. And also burst down the buildings fast enough, you know, to make the best use of the goblin warriors. Spam them all day long. They also cost more money in terms of command points and also in terms of resources in compared to orc warriors. Remember, the orcs, they cost only 30. Even though, I'm being honest, command points should not be a problem for the goblins, because it's kind of broken in my opinion. I mean, it's not like broken, super broken in terms of the goblin standing right now, but the fact that you can get for 200 command points, 75 command points for 200 resources, and you can build from them a lot. Like, look, a lot, you know, 3, 5, 7 of them. So you can get 7 times 75 command points, and they will cost you 7 times 2. It's like 1400 resources just to drastically increase your command points. In the mid game, goblins shouldn't run out of money either, because you know, you can get either Azok on the field for the pillage, or you pick the pillage from your spellbook to make extra cash. And when it's about the command points, you just build those battle expansions, and then you should be just, you know, good to go. I need this game back in my life. You can download this game for free, Sir John Knight. Exclamation mark download in the chat, you know, or exclamation mark BFME 2 or Rise of the Witch King RotWK. It will lead you to a website, and then follow the instructions and thank me later. Oh, Son Goku changed his username to Son Goku BFME. They got a cave troll, as Boromir would like to say. The cave beds, by the way, one of the changes you need to understand about the goblins in Isengard is that they made the cave beds / the Creebane from Isengard faction now unkillable, so they don't take damage. Oh, untamed allegiance! I see you, beautiful fire, beautiful poison arrow from downtown. The troll is poisoned. That's kind of crazy. Untamed allegiance is so bad, but at the same time so good. It's kind of, I get it. Like, it's one of those power points, you know, in which you cannot really tell how to buff it. You cannot make it to a 5 power point. It would be just too broken. But for the 10 power point, it's a little bit broken. It's like in a bad way broken too, because it falls off really big time when you compare it to any other 10 power point, like, I don't know, like Elvenwood, Mist, Tom Bombadil, Tower Summon, Wildman of Dunlands. I mean, they always outscale the Untamed Allegiance in the mid to late game, because eventually all the creeps are gonna be gone, and when the creeps are gone, you get almost no value from the Untamed Allegiance, and it will cost you 10 power points always, which is gonna be one of the power points you might use it only one time and then never use it again, because you don't have the chance to use it. But in the case of the goblins, in my opinion, it's a bit more useful when you compare it to the Angmar faction, because look, Mordor and also the goblins, they get a little bit more benefit. Troll Cage, Mumma Kill Ban, so you can, you know, push the production speed by 75%. For the goblins, it's gonna be Goblin Cave and Spider Pit and Fissure. And for Angmar, it's gonna be only the Troll and Wolf Den, you know. And Smoky is gonna be defeated without saying a word. It's gonna be a score which is even. Smoky was able to win the Elven Mirror, and now Avi was able to win the Goblin Mirror. So we have the third mirror match between.
How tragic.
Yeah, that's tragic, dude. What can I say? Alright, we have the blue blue Man of the West player Smoky versus the red Man of the West player Avi in the game number 5 on the map Iron Hills 2. I've also seen this map before. I think it's also a map from BFME 2, if I'm not mistaken. There is like a Isengard thing, you know. Destroy the dam. No, it's actually from Solas. Yeah, it's from Solas, because he made this dude. I remember. I think it's like 2 years ago or something. He made the Charlie guy. I think it's his name Charlie. Now I remember this map. We have 3 farms opening for Smoky, and also 2-3 farms into the barracks opening for Avi. So we don't see like a early offensive barrack shenanigans in this one. How to play the sounds with channel points. Channel points. I added them yesterday. A stable opening from Smoky. Mirror Day, I think so, yeah. Like, it's unbelievable. We got to see Elven Mirror, Goblin Mirror, and now we get to see the Elven Mirror.
Balrog of Morgoth, a demon of the ancient world.
A Balrog of Morgoth, a demon of the ancient world. The Gondor Knights. before I could properly speak, I mean, I can still not properly speak English. I mean, I know that, you know. I make a lot of mistakes about pronouncement and also announcement and dialect. I know that.
Bring your pretty face to my axe!
But I used to call these units Gondor Knights. I'm being honest, guys. Don't make fun of me. I was calling them Gondor Knights. And for example, when you have like a knife in your hand, I was calling the knife, you know. Because in German, you pronounce the K in front of the sentence. I'm similar. I've never learned to cook well.
I am Isildur there. Fight for me. And I will hold your oaths fulfilled.
Creeping action going on despite the level be creeped. Deadwood Willow is typing. I'm similar. I've never learned to cook as well. I did a little when I got kicked out, but it's mostly been my partner who has taught me over the past years. So your English is quite. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I mean, dude. Like, I cannot complain. My friends in real life are making fun of me. You cannot cook when you would be left in an island. You would starve to death. Yeah, sure, dude. What are the chances that I will be left alone in an island? I'm not gonna be preparing myself for the ultimate worst case scenario. Do you guys know the people? They are always thinking about the worst possible scenario. There are always people in the world who are thinking about absurd stuff, you know what I mean? Stuff that would eventually never happen, but they have that in mind. But would happen if if a plane, I don't know, like, they have crazy stuff. And I say, when this happens, then I'm willing to die, bro, because I cannot be preparing myself mentally and physically for that situation. How will I find myself in a situation in which I will be left alone in an island, dude? I'm not even close to a sea where I'm living. Okay, the Gondorites are moving forward. And Gondorites. We need pikemen. Tower guards, they actually cost also now 450, so they cost still 200 more than these units, and also additionally 15 more command points. It's actually quite a big investment, and I think you need to ask yourself, are they really worth it in the early mid game? I don't think they are needed in most situations, because the pikemen of Rohan, they can pretty much do the same thing. Also, Shanks, if you are worried about your English, you should hear my German. I'm not worried about my English, dude. I'm not like I have like no complexes about that. You know what I mean? I know people, for example, also my French friend, you know, from between my friends, they can speak properly English, but they are afraid to not be perfect. And dude, it doesn't matter how good your English is. You can never be a native speaker. You cannot speak English like a person who's living there for since he's born. Your English cannot be never that good. You cannot know as many words as this person can. So people will eventually notice that you are not from UK or from USA, you know, they will notice it. And it's okay, you know, it doesn't matter. As long as people understand what you are talking about, I think it's okay, you know. Nobody is perfect, dude. Oh, the build-up from Smokey. Okay, he's paying attention. Okay, the commitment now with 2 Gondorites, 1 soldier and 1 pikeman. This push is gonna be kinda strong. He's gonna use Rallying Call and get those Gondorites. Nah, he's changing his mind. The counter push with 2 Gondorites from Smokey. But will he be able to defend such a big force? That's the question. The pikemen, they need to react fast. Otherwise, those Gondorites, they can actually take down your farms quite fast. 2 of them with the Rallying Call. Look at the burst damage. The farm is going down to Goblin Town. The counter push, Smokey is pushing without the Rallying Call, which is still on cooldown. That's the reason why. And the farm, almost level 2, is going to be destroyed next. Remember, Smokey was leading 2-0. He was having 2 kill advantage, 2 win advantage against Ave, and Ave was able to win the last 2 games, and winning that one would be a hat-trick. It would be then the player who would be able to win 3 games in a row. Beautiful trample into the backline with the buffed Gondorites, that's very good. Smokey is forced to retrieve with Elma on the field. The Horse Lord of Rohan, the new king of the Riddermark. And we have farm spam fiesta happening. When you are sick and get fever, who takes care of you and help you taking the right medicine? Cooking is fine. I'm fortunate. Fortunately, I can read, so I know which medicine I'm supposed to take. You know, when I go to the doctor and he's telling me, "Hey, you need to take this medicine,"
I will represent the men of Gondor.
Then I don't need anybody to tell me in my home, "Take this one." That's the one you need to take. I'm not a child, dude. I've just never cooked in my life. Yo, Pro, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. What's up, my friend? I've seen you playing BFME 1 lately, I'm glad that you joined. Also the BFME one online community, you know? It's always nice to see some new faces. The builder! Yeah, let's get this thing moving indeed. Almost stabbing you in the back. I mean, again, you know, I was, of course, multiple times sick in my life.
The last match of the end is going to be a good one.
Last match of the end is going to be a good one. The 2 Theo and 2 Elma game. Yeah, maybe not Theoden. Maybe not Theoden. Dude, we actually see more Elma than Theoden, to be honest with you. I mean, Elma has Spear Throw. Additional to that, he has also the Outlaw leadership, this one, to make money. Which is pretty lit. And when it comes to cavalry, until level 6, Elma is better. After level 6, Theoden is better, of course. The Glorious Charge makes it really, really strong. Go to London, it's like a different country. I mean, I know the British English sounds very different. I'm having really trouble to actually listen and understand. I mean, I have a good friend. He was also, like a couple of years ago, he was always in the streams. Hisoka is his name, and he's from UK. Bloody hell! Can I have a cup of tea? The way they are talking is very different. I mean, I learned my English from watching films. I'm being honest with you guys. Watching anime, English anime, or watching films. They have fought us too long. We have 2 Elmas on the field indeed. One of them has the red shield and the other one has the blue shield. Actually, Smoky is now doing a phenomenal job. If you take a look into the current command points and power points, Abe is up to 575 command points in total. He's almost sitting on 6 power points after rallying call and the rebuild. His opponent Smoky is up to 7 power points in total after rallying call and heal, and he is sitting on 550. So it's pretty evenish. I mean, Abe has still a little bit of an advantage in the command points department, but I think it's not like a crazy advantage. It would determine the outcome of the game. It can still go either way. Your English is very good, man. Thank you. You guys, you know, I know, for example, in YouTube comments, people are saying to me, hey, Shanks, that's not the way you pronounce that. It's, you need to do this way. You need to do that way. But dude, that makes it also kind of unique. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound like everybody else. Come on now, who wants that? Like, I want to sound the way I'm sounding. I want to speak the way I'm speaking. If I sound like hundreds of millions of Americans or the people from UK, then I'm gonna not be any different, you know. But I think the accent of people makes them stand out a little bit and makes them a little bit different. I don't mind sounding a little bit different, to be honest with you. It doesn't bother me. Boromir, why Boromir? Why not, dude? Boromir is the captain of Gondor. This dude is gonna be mounted again. The siblings of Rohan, the Shield Maiden, and the Horse Lord. Owen is level 3, has now the best ability in the game, the Disguise. It's broken. Truly broken. Look, the dwarves are fighting here. Oh, we hear Bombadillo! Beautiful Sonic song, I believe. Oh, he was blowing up the hobbits. Why are you running, little hobbit? Why are you running, little hobbit? Come. Dance, 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 dance. Take this. Tom Bombadillo officially punched the kid. I'm dying. Sorry for that. I want to see Gandalf. Yeah. We don't get the chance to see Gandalf besides when you played. Boromir. The captain is left alone, just like in the films. Blow the horn of Gondor and call for reinforcement. Call for Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn. He's so slow, man. Right? Is he slower than the enemy pikeman? I think he is. Maybe use aggressive stance. Do you get a speed boost when you use aggressive stance? I'm not sure. But look, he's glowing. Is he unkillable now? He's the last stand. He's standing for a long time now. It looks so funny. They are kind of in his butt or something. At his butt. Okay, he's healing up, and it looks like he's equally fast, and you know, in compared to the peasants, and he's gonna be able to run away. He's healing, dude, while he's running away. It's crazy. Look at him. I'm being overwhelmed. Send reinforcements. Smokey doesn't want to give up. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Okay, Elma is coming. Uh-oh, Elma, he's gonna heal him now, and he can now blow the Horn of Gondor. Do it. Destroy it. In the meantime, the siblings are taking care of the farm. And not using the Horn of Gondor, which got, of course, a rework. And I think that's one of the major changes they've implemented into the 9.0 regarding the Man of the West faction. So man now has no early stun. So you can only stun now with the Cloud Break. Debuff is pretty good. It's not the worst thing in the world. But stun, of course, more useful. Let's be honest, you know what I mean. There comes the Bombadillo. Again, he's glowing. Does this thing have no animation? I'm curious. I mean, does it have no cooldown? That's what I'm asking. Oh, Faramir is... Look, this guy is spamming heroes now. We have the brothers of Gondor and the siblings of Rohan. Imagine many people putting their spears in your back. But imagine you don't care because you're a man, you know? These things, they can actually kind of back you out a little bit in those kind of... Because you cannot walk through them or over them. So you need to kind of hack those small pathways, which can, you know, backfire in some certain situations. Okay? I mean, sometimes it's so random, dude. Sometimes you are riding into the pikeman and you don't get damage at all. And you, additionally to that, you damage the enemy units. It's gonna be able to destroy this. Eomer leadership is coming in handy. Eowyn has the shield maiden of Rohan, which will give her 100% more armor, which is actually quite decent. You get quite tanky with her, you know? This Eomer is level 7. We have Rohirrim transition now. Faramir, why are you not with your wife? Marketplace now for Smokey. 500 command points for Avi and 750 command points for Smokey. So Smokey is definitely ahead. That's going to be a very valuable farm if you can destroy that. It's a level 3 farm. This one is going to be taken down for sure. And yeah, he's trying to play with the heroes. Faramir, Boromir. But all of them are kind of cheap. Yeah, man has the most heroes to offer from all of the factions in the game. So you have like a lot of options. You can recruit Eomer, Theoden, Elwyn, Faramir, Boromir, I don't know, Aragorn, Gandalf. Like you have so many heroes you can recruit. But it doesn't mean that every one of them is going to be strong. You know? Level 7, level 6, I mean, sorry.
I will represent the men of Gondor.
Link, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Boromir died in the film too. Sometimes I have a feeling that Mature of X never watched the trilogy. Mature of X, did you ever watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy, my friend? Because sometimes you sound like you don't even know what happened in the films. Don't tell me that you didn't watch the trilogy, dude. I would be very disappointed. I mean, I get it if you couldn't read the books, because I didn't read the books either until now, but I've at least watched the trilogy like 20 times in my life. Uh-oh. Okay. Rally to me. I mean, he's holding. Faramir is actually not a bad hero. Like people, I mean, Faramir is out of discussion. Nobody talks about Faramir, and I believe most people forgot about his existence in the game, as he's a very rare hero to be recruited. The reason is simple. Like, the thing about the Man of the West faction heroes is that a lot of them have leadership, and you can only have one leadership at the same time. You know, you can't stack it. So your Eomer has leadership, Theoden, Faramir, Boromir.
Now is the time to show our quality.
Yeah, it's your time to show your quality, Faramir. Shame. Shame. Arrow volley. Nice, he actually didn't hit too many. And the thing about the arrow volley is you can stand on your own fire. You can stand, but you can't stand on your fire when it's, for example, from the battle wagon. Avi is gonna demolish everything, delete everything, and that's gonna be the victory. To get advantage for Smokey, he was able to win 2 mirrors, while Avi was able to only win 1 mirror.